Hello, my name is Susan McCabe. I have a page called Unconditional Parents. My son is gay. I've recently felt inspired to talk as a mother of a gay son out loud that it's not okay to discriminate against my son. I think that we can heal the parents. I think that we can change the dialogue and the narrative. I know there are a lot of parents out there like me that have no judgments about who their kids love and no problem with their lives. It's time for us to speak up. I don't want this to be a political thing, but when Betsy DeVos says that it's okay to discriminate against these kids, we need to stand up. We need to say, no, that's not okay. I think that the country and even the world realizes now that there's nothing wrong with gay people. There never has been. There's been a misperception. 50 years ago, there were gay people. They just moved away, or they got married and were miserable. And they don't have to do that anymore. They can be happy. Who they love has nothing to do with who they are as human beings. My son even does drag, and it's performance, and I love that. I go and watch him all the time, and I've had gay kids come up and embrace me like, how can you be a mom and be okay? Well, because I love my son, because I don't judge him by who he loves. I love his soul. I've met some of the most wonderful kids that do drag, and there is nothing wrong with these kids. There's nothing perverted or sick about any of them. They're all very theatrical and they love the performance, and there's so many things about drag that are just genuine performance. So heal the parents. This is my theory. This is my idea. I think that one parent at a time, we can stop this craziness of kicking these kids out like there's something wrong with them. And I think from all the research that I've done, there's three main reasons that parents decide to disown their kids. Number one is embarrassment. They have this psychotic worry about what other people are going to say or think about them as a parent. And I can attest that as a parent who, I wouldn't say I didn't care what people thought, but it was irrelevant what people thought. I loved my son. We were in a small town. I ran into a couple of people that were uncomfortable, and that was their problem. I wouldn't engage in conversation with those kind of people because it was their own ignorance. There's still nothing wrong with my son. There never was. And so even though these people are uncomfortable, it has nothing to do with him. And it has nothing to do with me as a parent. I was a great parent. I'm still a great parent. And the fact that my son is gay is irrelevant. And as long as it's irrelevant to you and you stick up for your kid and you love your kid, nobody questions it. I had one guy, what did you do? Oh my God, what did you do? And I said, nothing. I didn't do anything. Why would I do anything? And it ended the conversation. That was it. The other one, I think, is religion. And I think that this gets much deeper. I have no problem with religion. I do have a problem personally with clergy or churches who alienate gay people, disown gay people, or do cruel things. I do have a problem with that because that's not what religion is about. I'll go into that more in one of my next vlogs. I think that it's an important conversation. As far as I'm concerned, the moment I had my son, when I go back to that moment, it never included, oh, if he loves men, no, no. And I know that every parent out there, if you go back to that moment you had your kid, and that moment that is pure divine energy, that's not the kind of conditions you would put on them, ever. And then the third reason I think is just basic fear, homophobia, and lack of knowledge. And when we just educate, I've had gay friends since probably 19 or 20. I was about 19 or 20. I'm sure that I knew gay people younger than that, but they didn't make it known to me. Fear is a tough thing, fear of change. We have this narrative that everyone wants to go back to the 50s where, women kept their mouths shut and there was discrimination and segregation and all of these crazy things. That wasn't better. That wasn't better. We all know deep in our hearts that wasn't better. We can have values and kindness and compassion for every person on the planet, no matter their religion, their sexual orientation, or the color of their skin. We just have to choose to do it. So my main message of today's vlog is being offended is a choice. You can choose to say, no, I'm not offended by my child. I'm not offended by him doing drag. I'm not offended by who he loves. I just refuse to be offended. And when you really step back and realize that it's a choice, you can make that choice. You can make that choice to support your kid 1,000% with no questions. People don't question you when you say, no, he's a great kid. So, bye. I hope you like my first vlog. I'm going to be doing more and showing you kind of the background of all Blake's wigs and all of the fun stuff that we do. Pride's coming up, and that's always a fun weekend for us here. So have a great day. Thanks so much.